All right, we're back with the Screen Team. It's a brand new edition of the show, being joined by two crazy cats this evening. We've got Sabrina and we've got Jamie ready to do some reviewing. Guys, how are we doing this evening?
I'm feeling really playful and energetic.
Well, we got some good movies for that, I think.
I know, they got me all hyped up.
We've got a couple of suspenseful movies that we're going to be reviewing this evening, and then one funny, energetic comic book movie.
Let's do this.
I was looking for some support for you or something.
I didn't hear a question. Did you hear a question?
No.
I got no question out of that. You're in charge, man. You're supposed to lead this crazy menagerie
I just did. I was looking for a response from you.
You need to step up your game. That's what Hollywood's done.
Can you believe this? All right, we've got a show tonight. We're going to review The Game starring Michael Douglas. Also, what?
Boom. Because I said game.
Oh, my God. This is going to be a long, long show. We're also going to be reviewing... okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Ex Machina.
No.
Machina?
Machina.
Ex Machina.
But most people will call it Ex Machina.
Well, that's what I'm going to do then, because I'm a follower. I'm not a leader. And our final film is Ant-Man. So I think we've wasted enough time. Let's get right to The Game.
The Game.
This was a film directed and starring Michael Douglas. It was directed by Jamie's
was personally
friend.
directed by David Fincher.
I know. Oh my gosh!
He was like, Jamie, you think Ben should do this take again? And Jamie's like, I think you should just get rid of Ben altogether. But
Jamie took the ponytail down and said, "Let's get serious."
So it was directed by David Fincher, and we've got Michael Douglas. He's a businessman. He's kind of a loner. Yeah. Doesn't have family, doesn't have friends. Is divorced, and not a lot of happiness in his life. Work pretty much takes the...
He put money before everything else.
Correct. So his brother comes to him about this organization or this business that provides somewhat of an entertainment key. It's called The Game. Yeah. And this thing will ultimately make him happy with his life. And Michael Douglas isn't buying it at first, but later on we find out what happened. So
buys it a lot.
Yeah. So Jamie, he does, doesn't he? So Jamie, you picked this film. Why was this important to throw out there?
Well, it's a movie I actually hadn't watched in a long time. I saw this movie at the theaters when it came out.
Oh, did you really?
And it was. I wasn't really aware of David Fincher as a filmmaker yet, but I was a fan of Michael Douglas and a lot of people in the movie.
Right.
And it was a really interesting film. You know, especially in the theater, it's a little more intense watching it on the big screen once all the action starts and things like that. So
it's got a great cast too. Of course, we've mentioned Michael Douglas, but Sean Penn kind of has a supporting role in this film. Doesn't have a lot of scenes, but he has a lot of key scenes in this film.
Because he's the one that sets up his brother with the game,
right?
And then he comes back later, and he's almost like a different person. It's really interesting to see him come in.
The brother.
Sean Penn's. Because when he first shows up, he seems a little quirky, but he seems like he kind of has it together. And then it's a different story later on.
Right. So we find Michael Douglas.
He had an agenda.
Well, true. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, and pretty much everybody else we meet in Michael Douglas's game kind of has an agenda as well.
Yeah,
and you learn.
Yeah, but they're on the payroll.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Sabrina, I mean, what did you think about this film?
Well, I remember seeing this a long time ago, back when it came out, and I loved it then, and it just sort of got lost in the memory banks. But as soon as Chris said we're watching it, I was like, I remember this movie, but I don't remember why. I just remember liking it, but I didn't remember why.
Yeah. And
so I was kind of doing multitasking at the time that he was playing it. So I was listening, and then I would, it's a good movie when you stop what you're doing to get up and go across the hallway and look at the screen because you've got to see it.
Yeah.
To finish,
you're
it's like a magnet, and you just get drawn in. And then here I am once again standing in the doorway of the bedroom. He's all chilled out watching this movie, and I'm standing in the doorway with my mouth open, going, Chris has to pause the movie a couple times, get me to either go back in there and finish what you're doing and come watch it, or sit down because you're driving me crazy, woman. This is a frequent thing that happens at our house. So, so it was an enjoyable experience as far as being able to say that it pulled me back in. It constantly kept pulling me back in. Yeah. And I just think that we really do need to find it and buy it and put it in our collection, because it really is that good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I wasn't able to devote 100% of just laying around and watching it, but it's worth watching, and it is such a mind bender. And it was done back before mind benders were really popular, I think. I mean, they were doing them, but I mean, it wasn't popular to do it.
Yeah.
So it was like, if they tried to do that movie now, I don't think they could do it better. It really was done exceptionally well for the 90s. I know that really sounds weird to say, but...
Well, I mean, David Fincher had already had a couple of films before that were, mind-blowing, like
he was
Seven.
Building this reputation.
Yeah, he had Seven, and he had Fight Club. That he already done, and then he went right into this film.
They were all done really close together.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't a trend.
But that just...
He made it a trend.
Yeah, he kind of did, because it seemed like that's the kind of movies he
is really good at.
Was movies that kind of threw you off, and you really couldn't guess the ending.
Yeah,
or at least I couldn't.
But I think that the population got away from it for a while.
Yeah,
and then we're back into it. Like you got to have a challenge, and these
psychological thriller has a different tone than just a thriller or an action thriller,
right?
Because it's not all about. And that's the cool thing about this movie. It has some action in it, but it is really, you have to kind of try to think ahead, or think of why this is happening to him.
It does a really good job of getting you in Michael Douglas's head.
Yeah.
Awesome job, because you are literally at the mercy of his fear, his anxiety, his determination, his... everything, because it's like they do such a good job of bringing you to the brink of crazy.
Yeah.
Just like him.
There's one little piece in the movie, and it won't ruin anything, but it's near the end where the guy tries to carjack him, and you kind of wonder, is this another person?
Yeah.
And then he pulls the gun out. I'm very fragile, or is that what he said? I'm very fragile right now.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, okay.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed Michael Douglas in this film. Watching it, it's kind of the same character he always kind of plays. The Gordon Gekko type of character, but there was a little twist on this. He seemed to have somewhat of a human. You could relate to him, even though he was this powerful man, but
you had a little sympathy for the guy.
Yeah, you almost feel sorry for him, even though he's got all these things in this nice house.
You really do. This was the first time I'd ever seen this film, and I really, really enjoyed it. I was expecting just a typical, thriller, predictability, kind of thing you always see with these kind of movies, but it kept me guessing.
It's a Fincher, man.
It's a Fincher, and I had no idea that he did this film. So, I mean, that was a big surprise for me watching this as well. So, good direction, good tone as far as the film work. Fincher always seems to be doing some sort of dark, kind of film, and even though there was a lot of daytime shots, he's so good at doing the shadows and the dark time shots. So it kept me guessing, and the ending just kind of blew me away. Not once, but twice. So very, very good movie. If you get a chance and looking for like a good weekend kind of movie thriller, I think The Game will do it for you. Starring Michael Douglas. Coming up after the break, we've got the movie Ex Machina.
Yay!
That's it, right?
You did.
Closer. Yay for me. All right. Coming up next here on the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC.